Good morning YouTube and welcome back to the channel. It's Saturday and yeah, it's quite nice out there. A bit windy, but for mid-September can't complain at all. Today's little task, just a bit of general maintenance on the car, to be honest. I ran over a pothole last week and made quite a bang. It didn't feel like anything happened, didn't feel like the wheel was buckled or anything crazy, didn't give me any concern. But of course I just want to have a quick look. You know, the wheel can crack quite easily from hitting a pothole, and you know, if it goes, you've got problems. So just a quick look underneath. One of the coilovers as well is making a little crack. And I think it's probably just a dry bearing or something, so I'll get that some grease while I'm at it. But follow me, we may find a complete catalogue of errors and horrors, or it may be just a very boring video. By the way, don't forget to subscribe, like, put comments, it means a lot. Right, let's get on with it. So just having a quick look inside the arch here. Obviously the brakes on this are pretty new, and if you want to see how those can be done, there's a video. I'll try and post it somewhere up here. So the brakes are good, don't need to check those too much. Brake pads have plenty of meat on them. Just want to check the coilovers, make sure that the collar hasn't slipped at all, only held in by a little grub screw there. So just making sure that's okay. Obviously generally checking around, making sure no stupid things like broken springs, which I doubt because the coilovers are pretty new, and just making sure really the plastic and everything else is in place. So just general maintenance really. So what I'm going to do is have a quick look at this coil spring, especially on the top, because it does seem to be, when you jack it up like this and let it down, it makes a couple of sort of clicking sounds, which I think may be just a dry bearing on top. So I'll get out some grease and more than likely solve the problem. Right, onwards. So all looking good so far. I didn't expect to find any major problems, to be honest, because winter's coming up and salt's going to be everywhere and it destroys your car. This stuff, great stuff. Super grease. It is a spray grease, and what I tend to do around all the areas that are, you know, likely to rust, so you've got bolts down there, you've got obviously your springs, your dampers, that sort of stuff. I give it a light coating of grease, so basically just some of this, bumper, like that. Now it looks messy, I agree, but a power washer and time is going to wash this off anyway, and to be honest, in the summertime I like to give this a good scrub underneath anyway. It's just to stop, you know, the worst of the corrosion. You're never going to stop corrosion, especially under your wheel well, because obviously all the salt and road grime and everything else gets thrown up in your wheel all over this area. But a little bit of protection is better than nothing, or misses. So that's what I tend to do, just give it a little bit of a spray grease, just on the bits that you know are going to get grime and horrible stuff in it. And yes, stuff is going to stick to it, but it is a barrier against it, and it comes off pretty easy. I mean, you can literally wipe it off with your finger. So that's mine little preventative maintenance tip. Whether you take it or not, your choice. Anyway, more inspection. So it's all looking pretty good. Give it a bit of a tidy up in there as well, just to make sure everything's okay. And yeah, can't see any problems. Didn't expect to find any, but like to check, especially after hitting a pothole, because it did make quite a substantial boom. But everything looks fine. The wheel's good. Everything in there's fine. Nothing's broken. Nothing seems to be bent. I've had a good inspection. So I put this wheel back on and then move to the other side. things I wanted to do, and I did it on the back brakes. Let me just take you there and show you. When I changed the brakes, I didn't want them to rust, so you see they're not rusting. Now the reason they're not rusting is because I lacquered them. So basically all I used was a bit of lacquer, clear lacquer, on the area there. So what I'm going to do is quickly give that a rub down with a wire brush on a drill attachment, clean it up, and then I'm going to put some lacquer on it as well, because I know it's a bit anal, but I prefer to see those silver than rusty. So let's get on with it. So there you go, all nice and clean. Obviously had to use 2 hands for that, so the camera came down. But that's just the way I like it. I know it may seem a bit anal to people, but I like to see nice shiny surfaces just there rather than rusty components. Okay, let's get a bit of lacquer on it. Again, there's nothing at all for performance or longevity or protect anything, but just I think nice to see. Okay, quick video, just a little bit of an inspection. I didn't video it, but I did the back wheels last week, and now the front wheels are done as well, so all ready for the winter. Luckily the pothole didn't cause any damage, which was nice because I don't fancy buying a new wheel. Cleaned up obviously the brake discs and just made them look a little better for me. Okay, not everybody will agree, I know, comments will flow, but for me I like to see shiny brake discs. Just a thing, you know. All we need to do now is, or I need to do now, is give the car a good wash, but it's going to be used as a skip in a little while. My last video was doing some work in the garden, laying patio slabs, and that broke me. So I've got to get rid of some rubble this morning, got to go down the local tip, so I've got to put something in the back just to protect the car, couple of loads down the tip, and then poor thing's going to get a good wash. So, thanks for joining me. Whether it's been any use to anybody, I don't know. There will be more videos coming later on. At the moment, there's not a great deal of maintenance to do on the car. Obviously, I've done the cam chain already, did the brakes, I've done a service quite recently. So, at the moment, the car's good for winter. So, join me, like and subscribe if you like what I do. Any suggestions, please feel free to comment. Cheers, YouTube.